Alright, so Mark with Salty Dogs. I got to do a quick video on how I go about setting up for graphics when I use the CNC machine. A lot of, like 3 or 4 like specific phases of working one of these CNC machines, in my opinion. And one of the phases is your graphics part, where you create your squares and your circles and your whatever you have, and then you have all those vector lines or vector shadowing or whatever you're doing with your graphics, prepared then to create the tool pathing, which is another phase. So I just wanted to kind of do things a little differently in the regards that everything I draw is in Coreldraw. For instance, this is something I'm working on, cutting these wood pieces out. Gentleman's gonna use these circles and these circles with cutouts to generate this like cool sound system, microphone for drums, for a drum or something to that nature. Anyway, so it's a fairly basic CNC job once the wood is prepped, so that you're looking at this is like 10-inch wide by whatever, 34 inches, and these ovals are 9 inches. So anyway, or the circles are 9 inches. So anyway, what I do is I just use the tools here, to create the circle, and you can just create, create a quick circle, and then obviously size it or whatever. So then the point though is that once I create in Coreldraw, then I Control E or Control Export, or just find Export up here, or Export up here on your tab window. So I Control E as an EPS. So I'll show you that. It's already done, but I can walk back through the motion. So I Control E. It's going to ask me where I want to save it, what I want to save it as. So everything that I'm doing for this project is on my removable little disk here, so I can use different computers to work on it. So then I can save it right here. This is the EPS. So it's going to say, you've already got one, name this, you want to replace it. I would say yes if I wanted to, but I'm just going to say no. So the EPS is there. So then what I have to do is import that EPS into VCarve Pro or Vectric Aspire. And once I do that, then I have the ability to start the tool pathing. Vectric Aspire can certainly do the drawing for me, but it's really hard to keep 2 graphics design programs separated in my head. So Control say G on Coreldraw is group. Control U would be ungroup. Well, in Vectric, VCarve Pro, grouping objects is completed in just a completely different manner. So the GUIs are just too far different to try to keep them straight. Anyway, so I draw in Corel, and then I simply EPS it or export it as an EPS to then open and use in VCarve Pro, because VCarve Pro recognizes the file extension of encapsulated PostScript. So we're going to come over here, we're going to just say, all right, let's open this existing file. We're going to go back to our removable disk. Get up here, and there's the EPS. So we're just going to say, all right, let's load that one up. So Vectric's going to load. It's going to ask me for my material parameters and so on, so we can just finish or fill out that that form real quick and move on with it. So it's saying it's 9, but we know this piece of wood is going to be 10 inches, and it is going to be exactly 34 inches. So I'm just simply setting up the parameters. So that's right, our material Z, or thickness I should say, is this wood is 0.75, and we're going to be cutting all those circles out. We don't want to use an offset. I don't know why VCarve Pro sometimes goes ahead and gives you just an offset. I like to XY datum position in the center of my wood. You can do wherever you want, but I just like the center anyway. Inches, blah blah blah. Yep. So we're gonna hit OK, and then it's gonna give us all of our circles again. And see how they're not centered on the paper. So one thing I have to do before tooling is center things. So if I Control A, it's gonna highlight all my happy little circles, and then I can come over here and just center everything and close this out. So now we're centered. Back to that. Really don't need any of this anymore. This, you know, rarely do I even use these create vector icons, ellipse, rectangles, you know, and not to say anything bad about VCarve Pro, because it's probably far more intuitive than his Coreldraw. I'm just so used to Coreldraw at this point that I don't really get too much in the weeds over here with VCarve Pro yet, because it's just not been necessary. Anyway, this is the side that I use. If you come over here, hit toolpaths, we're going to pin the toolpaths up, and I'm going to hit control up so I can have a split screen so I can see the carvings once I build some toolpaths. You know, I can view them over here, and then I've got my vectors over here. So then, you know, I'd simply, for this one, we'll just do a quick one. I'll knock this guy out. We want to go ahead and cut him out. So we come over here, we're going to ask for a profile toolpath, and our cut depth is going to be 0.76 since our material is 7.5 and we want to cut all the way through it. It's got this set as this Magnate 76360 for V carving, but we don't want that. We want an end mill. We want a big old bomber end mill. So we're going to come over here to an end mill, find the let's see here. Yep, that'll work. And we're going to make sure we're in inches per minute, hit apply, hit it OK. And the passes, since we're going through 3/4 inch wood, we're going to bump our passes up to 3 passes just to make it easier. Actually, nope, I'm going to leave it at 2. Yeah, 2, that'll be 3/8 per pass. So I'm going to set it at 2. Might have to add one. Now you got to determine if you want it to cut out on the outside of the vector, on the inside of the vector, or on the vector. So in this case, since I need 9-inch circles when this thing is done, I want to go on the outside right. Easy day. Now I don't want these discs launching across the shop area, so we're going to add some tabs. Simply edit the tabs, and then just add tabs, and it's just going to randomly slap you a tag. So that tab's okay. I'm going to add a tab here, and I'm going to add a tab there. So I'll close this, and we're going to scroll down to where we can say calculate, and it's going to give us a warning. You are going to cut through your material, and yes we are. Yes we are. Alright, and there's our little deal over here. And if we want to, just go ahead and make sure this profile is clicked. If I unclick it, it disappears. If I click it, it's back there, and I can say preview toolpath, and that's it. Boom. And it's simply to save it, you just come over here. You gotta have a toolpath selected. Save toolpath. Where are you gonna save it? What you gonna call it? And you can save it. And then that's. Uh-oh, I saved it and I don't even know where. No problem. So that's then you basically take that TXT Word document, Word file, which is your VCarve Pro PostScript. It's a PostScript generation, which is what we're doing here with this tooling. You can then go ahead and load that in your CNC machine, set your X, Y, and your Z, and you know, get your toolpath going, or your tool bit going, and you can carve that piece out. So yeah, I just wanted to show the EPS exporting, importing, or not necessarily importing, but opening an EPS and Vectric Aspire VCarve Pro, and then a quick one on doing a quick toolpath. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.